Hey, folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Podcast. It's a show where each week we're going to be sitting down with Vincent Daly to get his thoughts on the latest movies he's been watching, both older films and new releases. And don't worry, there's no spoilers. Vince will give a brief review of the movie, share some thoughts, and of course, then rate the film. The daily ratings are always fair, honest, and most importantly, they're consistent. On today's show, Vince will be rating and reviewing. We are in the theaters this week, folks, so we're covering the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and that's directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic. We then have The Drama, that's directed by Christopher Borgli. And then a special kind of two-shoes review of Anaconda from late last year that just hit Netflix, so get ready for that. But regardless, let's get Vincent Daly in the room, hear what he has to say about these films. Stay tuned and enjoy the show. Mr. Vincent Daly, how are we doing across the table, my friend?
Thomas, how's it going?
It's going okay for me. How you been? How's your past couple of weeks? We had the Oscar roundup last week.
Yes.
Actually, we had some good. It seemed like people were interested in hearing those reviews again and seeing them compiled.
Because sometimes it's hard to kind of track those back to the individual episodes.
Right, exactly.
So nice to put them all in one spot. Definitely enjoyed the time off. I don't know actually what we would have covered. What was it? Maybe Ready or Not 2 was in the list for the week.
I think that was it. Yeah, correct.
Listen, no hate against it, but was a very useful time off, and I'm excited. You left it out of the intro there. I'm excited for. We're on the week's eve of the Tom birthday episode.
We've got the Tom's birthday picks coming up a little bit later, folks. Do stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
You know, we usually do it 2 weeks. We usually announce 2 weeks beforehand.
Okay.
Just in case if you want to start picking them off.
Right.
So, I mean, it's going to be a normal, an old school 5-movie week next week. Mm-hmm. We have a lot to watch. Of course, I'm going to watch all of them as well.
Yep.
I purposely haven't watched one of them.
Oh, okay, just to leave something kind of fresh.
Fresh, completely, never ever seen it before.
Okay.
Also not rated on the daily ratings, so I'm excited for that. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But yeah, how was your week? So we did 2, because I also did Anaconda, and then, of course, we got the birthday movie, so we did the 2 ones that just came out this past weekend.
Yes, which were big releases. Obviously, The Drama is nowhere as big as Super Mario Galaxy, but, really, really big releases that have the internet buzzing. Super Mario Galaxy for its variance between critics and audiences, which is pretty much carbon copy for the first release in 2023. There was that same divide of, like, critics really hate this and think it's soulless, but, like, audiences are ecstatic with it. And The Drama, I mean, I'm surprised there is as much talk around The Drama as possible. Both, like, spoilers, just throwing it out there, so kind of a minefield if you do care about that.
I like that it's getting some buzz, because it deserves a conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it together. Very excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like this guy that we've seen him before from Train Dreams, the Nick Cage movie from a few years ago.
Dream Scenario.
Oh, that's what I say.
Train Dreams.
That's hilarious. Definitely not the Train Dreams guy. Yes, Dream Scenario with Nick Cage a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have Zendaya and Pattinson, who are having 2 pretty big years. She's in a lot.
Yes.
Not to mention we see them coming up together in Dune Part 3.
Yep.
At the end of the year.
We'll talk about it a little bit in The Drama, but there's 3 points that they're both being in movies together this year. It's Dune and Odyssey coming up.
Holy shit, she's in Odyssey.
Yeah.
And he's in Odyssey. Oh my.
Huge. Like, that's a huge year from them both that overlap. Zendaya specifically, though, also has Euphoria season 3, which I've never seen Euphoria, but, like, hugely
It's getting massive buzz this 3rd season.
Yep.
Shot on VistaVision.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sleeking over to TV.
It's pretty cool.
What's up with that?
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man, maybe not as big, but, like, Mary Jane is a big role in where that movie is at right now, story-wise. So
I mean, just think about that. It's starting off the drama, straight to the Odyssey.
Then Spider-Man.
Euphoria.
Yep.
And then ending on Dune Part 3.
Yep.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he is in Dune Part 3. Honestly, I have no idea. Dune Messiah. But what a year.
Yeah,
not
what a
an
year.
annoying Pedro Pascal type of thing either.
No, yeah, because I think all of these are not like nonsense projects, I mean, all of them are interesting for one reason or another, you know, where with, I feel like the Pedro burnout, it's like...
Yeah, I'll take a job here. I'll take a job there.
Yeah.
Sure, you can't do that. I'll fill in.
Yeah. Which apparently was not his fault, the layering of those,
Oh, how it just came down with filming?
Yeah, exactly, how they actually released it, but...
Yeah, okay, sure.
Yeah. I'm sure that's some legal action that his agent can prove, that it's sunk Pedro Pascal.
I think he just stepped in for Joaquin Phoenix. 4 days before shooting was supposed to start, Joaquin Phoenix backed out on a project.
Oh, really?
I want to say, and I'm sorry if this is wrong, but the director Todd Haynes, who we covered before, I believe he's doing some like raunchy NC-17 like gay drama.
Oh, interesting.
And it's very sexual, apparently, and that's the theory of why Joaquin backed out.
Oh, okay.
And then Pedro was like, yeah, I'll do it. So that just started filming, I want to say, in Mexico.
The yell, I'll do it, Yeah. That's that quality.
But anyway, no, happy to see Pattinson, because we really like Pattinson.
Yeah.
And Zendaya is climbing on the charts. I wasn't the biggest Zendaya person.
Yeah.
Probably 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Totally turned around.
That's great.
Like, in a big way.
That's great.
So, okay, any opening notes? Get into it. What do you want?
I mean, I guess we could start off with this curveball, the Anaconda review 4 months later.
Yeah, okay, all right. So I watched whatever. I watched Anaconda.
Yep.
No big deal, no big deal. And, okay, so it came onto Netflix. I didn't really have anything to watch.
Yeah.
Because both of just the two films that we covered, were in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's charting well on Netflix. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to watch it. So, Anaconda. Basically, the setup is you have a group of 4 childhood friends that used to like to make home videos together. Mm-hmm. Paul Rudd is a struggling actor in Hollywood, getting minor roles here or there. He comes home with to the shock of his 3 other friends. He bought the rights for Anaconda.
And this is like the old John Voight Anaconda.
Yes, because they're huge fans. Growing up, they were huge fans of the original Anaconda, and he was like, I bought the rights, let's go film it.
A potential so bad it's good contender, from what I understand.
Yes. I saw it years and years ago.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then, the hilarity ensues with the remake of Anaconda. And, is it about the filming? Is it about what actually happens? Yada, yada. But that's the film. The hilarity ensues.
Wow.
Are you in and are you out? I will say, the movie knows exactly how silly it is.
Okay.
So it's very aware of itself, which goes very far. Because if it was just trying, not that it was ever supposed to be serious. I mean, look who's in the film.
Right.
But if it if it wasn't laughing at its own self, it would be way worse. This is not a good movie. But this is a folding laundry movie.
Okay.
Not a let's make our night about it. Right? Jack Black, this is actually, I really kind of enjoyed Jack Black.
Okay.
More than I have in previous films. Paul Rudd is a mixed bag. Steve Zahn
Yes, that's right.
is horribly underused.
Okay.
Like really bad underused.
Yeah.
He's way funnier and could be way better in this film. He wasn't written well. And then the main chick whose name I have written down and can't find it, Thandaway Newton.
Okay.
She's another. We did cover her in other stuff.
Oh,
She's
really?
fine. She's whatever. She's all right.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's a really good. If you have little kids, it's a good time.
Little. I did not expect that.
It's PG-13, so maybe not little kids, but
okay.
if you're 10, sure. If you're an adult, I don't know. Maybe if your humor is more skewed to those kinds of stuff. It isn't that great. The beginning is very predictable. The middle is the most enjoyable. I did not like the end at all.
Okay, all right.
So straight up, this took it from a shoe with the lace to this. It gets one shoe, no lace. But it's not a flip flop. And if you're folding laundry, and it's you guys, it's Netflix. What do? I'm gonna watch it. What can I put on in the background?
Yeah.
You can totally put on Anaconda, and maybe even like enjoy it with it on the background. Jack Black's nice. Jack Black is good to see.
That's funny. Well, yeah, I heard a comparison online, believe it or not, because they're making a movie in the jungle and it's Jack Black. I heard someone compare this to Peter Jackson's King Kong.
That's hilarious.
Which is like, would you think that's the double feature there? Or?
No, I mean, I guess Tropic Thunder would be the big daddy of this film.
Oh, okay. I see.
Because
the spoof.
Right. Tropic Thunder is we're filming a movie and shit goes awry.
Yes.
This is we're filming a movie and shit goes awry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
This would just be the kid version, and then that would be a great double header.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's Anaconda. I mean, there's some snakes, not really any, not that much at all, and there's side characters. That's pretty cheap. This is a pretty cheap film.
Wow. Okay,
not bad. Okay.
Not bad. That's our Anaconda quickie review.
I don't want to get I don't want to go too hard into it.
Yeah, exactly. I like these.
I'll throw in a two shoes once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, I like the aspect of like it's very realistic to fold laundry and need some noise in the background.
And give me something new to watch. That's kind of what this was. Although I tried to pay attention. If I went to the bathroom, I paused it. Because I was like...
invested. We're making content out of this.
I'm doing two shoes on it, I got to put the junk, have 2 feet in when I do it.
Oh, man.
I did not like the ending, though. Okay, so with that, let's jump on into the movie theater.
Yep.
And the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I didn't like the title of the first film. I don't like the title of the second film.
It almost feels like a joke.
This one was also inevitable. After the first one stormed the previous holiday box office.
Yep.
The first one broke records. This came very close to breaking records.
Yep.
Obviously the best film of the year so far. Shout out to, as far as box office is concerned, Project Hail Mary. Doing just fine.
Yeah, kind of hanging in there.
It had a very good second week. This was the third weekend. Still came in second. Made $30 million.
Wow.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that isn't bad.
So, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, hour and 38 minutes. It's rated PG, so this is true kids' films. You jump off. I didn't see it. You jump off wherever you want to.
I was wondering if you're going to surprise me on this one.
No, I was thinking about it, but I would have went alone, and it was going to be a crowded theater.
Yes, very crowded.
There.
Extremely crowded.
So you set this up however you want. I don't know how much you want to talk about the other one, the first one that came out, but take it away, Vin.
Yeah, well, after the first movie making literally $1.3 billion, I guess this follow-up was pretty expected, but... Tom, I personally was questioning and really forced to see this sequel as, did they actually want to make this? Because once you see how little they carry over from the first, it's kind of difficult to see this as anything but the money is there, so we have to make it. You know what I mean? There's no kind of continuing thread of saying, hey, this is lining up our this is the next chapter in Mario's life. No, this is for making possibly another $1 billion or more,
Well, okay, so you're saying that they were just let's just do another story.
Yes.
Because there was places to go after that first one ended.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously what they can pull from in the games, but it's surprising to me because they carry so much little over from the first one of just easy wins. Areas, we weren't really sold on that film, but that first
What
film.
did you give it, by the way?
64 gave that 2023
Yeah, I quite
movie.
like that score. That's probably where I would be around.
It was good. It wasn't great.
Yeah, two shoes, no lace type deal.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, we gave the 1993 one a 53.
Well, that's,
so if you're looking for a fever dream, there's that one. So... But, easy wins of that first film are completely forgotten. I think a great one is, letting Jack Black just kind of be himself.
I'm Cook.
Music, doing little songs, little ditties, are sidelined for what feels like dozens of plot lines thrown into this for... kind of juggled to make more money, or to set up money-making potential down the road, down the warp pipe, if you will. There we go. We got some Nintendo puns in the episode. I hate to say it, though, but it really is kind of irrelevant what we or any critic says about this because these movies have some of the biggest variance in score, depending on which audience member you ask. Most of all, kids who could give a damn about what critics seem to pick a fight over. But this time around, you can really feel the franchise positioning. Both Nintendo and Illumination are setting up with their money printing machine on this one. My elevator pitch on Super Mario Galaxy movie is simple. It was a shotgun blast of Nintendo. It is the full kitchen sink, and all of it feels like a semi-corporate to very corporate soft penetration of what their audiences would like to see next. There's a little bit of a test of every little bit of the water to see what's actually going to hook or what we're going to see people really freak out about online.
And then we can put in film number 3.
Exactly.
I got to tell you, that's very smart.
Yeah, exactly.
However, it gets probably just a watered-down version of everything.
Yeah.
And, like you said, a shotgun blast.
Yeah.
Which is just about your least favorite thing. Or trying to be as Easter eggy as possible.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of that.
Yeah, not a fan of it.
Real quick, actually, can you go through? Can you go through what Illumination is? How this connects with Universal?
Sure.
How this connects with Nintendo?
Yeah.
What is the body's coming together to make this project.
So Illumination, big in their own right, I would say neck and neck with Pixar, frankly. They do the Minions, Despicable Me. They do, as far as a big animation house, they are probably second in line.
And they are
next to
Universal's,
Pixar.
NBC
Yeah.
Universal's wing.
Exactly.
Fully owned.
Yeah. Their connection probably started with the actual theme park of Nintendo tying along with them for the theme park, but then obviously grew into this collaboration for the Mario movie in 2023.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
I would say this aspect of like the shotgun blast, though, I mean, it's tough because I see like what you saw of just like this is a pretty smart business decision to take this movie and say like we're going to use this as a test to see what audiences really want coming down the pipeline. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's almost like not a movie at all. It's more like a sizzle reel of everything Nintendo can put out for us. I would say the biggest example of this kind of full kitchen sink aspect approach to making the movie is around a spoiler that the latest trailers seem totally fine throwing in our face, and all I'll say is Glenn Powell better not ruin my favorite game of all time. With that said, though, the Super Mario Galaxy movie is a big video game family adventure, but much like the first, there's a surprising amount of action and polish in just the visual fidelity of that. It is absolutely just a family movie, family adventure, but I think there's a lot to make anime fans happy. I feel like the cross-pollination into video games fans happy for the Easter eggs aspect. And again, just like the sure polish, the visual candy to every ounce of this movie is very, very impressive. The name and the starting plot comes from one of the best Mario games to exist, 2007's Super Mario Galaxy, but not for long. Because as we get into the story, you can see how they plan to cram a lot more into this. If I can flex some of my Nintendo knowledge a bit, this grabs from Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey, believe it or not, Mario 2 from back in the day. Like a lot of Mario 2. I don't know what that was.
What year
about.
did that come out?
I don't know.
Early 90s, right?
Yeah, maybe like if I had to peg it, maybe 94.
Well, that gets the adults with their kids coming in.
I guess it's an odd one to grab. It's kind of a fever dream Mario game in itself. Grabs a lot of Mario Kart, Captain Toad, which is a puzzle game that they just kind of shoved into this one. But by far, what this grabs and will probably illustrate the potential for other IPs to be pulled in by Illumination and Nintendo. This pulls a lot from everyone's favorite Super Smash Brothers. This is really, if this is setting up anything, it is the Super Smash Brothers movie, which is like so unexpected that that's a thing, that this might actually happen. I think the writing's on the wall because you look at these last two movies, this one and the 2023 one, the action in it, a lot of the times, it's more action than you think. There's like straight up fights in this one now specifically, where it was kind of the razzle-dazzle of the last film. There's a lot of fights in this, and it's like, it feels like the choreography, the animators, they're practicing. They're kind of gearing up for what is down the pipeline, which I'm in favor of.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
If it's just electric, and I mean, that would be something that actually be kind of interested in.
Yeah.
I have to say, there's a lot in the Mario world, Nintendo world, too, that they can play off of as far as action scenes. I mean, last year's, 2003 is the first one that came out. 2023's Mario Kart had a play.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you had situations that could really play as mini games, almost like the Mario Party games.
Yeah.
Like, there's great little snippets that you could do that are just, you're in and you're out, and it's a fun, but those are all technically action scenes, especially within a movie. So there is a lot to play there with.
Yeah.
And to grab just the kids' eyeballs and not let up.
Exactly. There's so much here that I feel like I'm of two minds of it, because like on one piece, and like we talked about in the original episode for the first movie, there's an aspect of just like, don't overcomplicate it. It's Mario. It's about jumping, over blocks and saving the princess, We made the joke in that of just like the most famous Mario game is Mario showing up for Princess Peach because she baked a cake. So it's like, all right, that's our baseline, So I don't have a problem with this not being super complicated or super like emotionally deep like a Pixar film. At the same time, though, there's so much in the mix here. There's so much pulled from. It does feel like it's a shotgun blast.
It's just too much. And they have so much IP to pull from.
Exactly.
That's the thing. You got to put the reins on yourself.
Yeah. So We begin our story with the Watcher of the Stars, Princess Rosalina, taking care of her adorable star children, the Lumas. Despite showing off her powers, she is kidnapped by Bowser Jr. in an attempt to free his father, trapped by Princess Peach. We come back to Planetside to see that the warp pipes that link together the many worlds are linking more than ever, which the Super Mario Brothers will be on the case to fix, even taking care of the whole Mushroom Kingdom for a time. And the brothers will have to be on that job when Peach and Toad embark on a quest to save their fellow princess royalty, even if it means traveling to space to find her. Folks, the buzz around this movie was that it was both, one, visually stunning, two, a disjointed collage of scenes, and I feel like both of those takes are equally correct. For the positive side of that, I absolutely agree that this is an excellent-looking movie. The animation is flawless and often pushes the boundaries of what we've even seen from Illumination. Like not even for Minions or Despicable Me, which are their cash cows, do we get the quality of animation here. There's like really, really like a notch above the visual polish of this.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
You know what shocked me was the budget of this film. Did you look it up?
No.
$110 million. Wow. That's it.
That seems low for...
It's already printing money. Today, it's already printing money.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I mean, isn't that incredible? 110?
It's unreal.
Their in-house stuff must be very good.
Yeah.
And they must have a really good thing streamlined pretty well.
Exactly. I think this flash does pay off too. You know, I point to the amount of flashy action the amount of flashy action that's in the movie. Like there is a lot of it. And
let's go. I mean, that's, you know.
I don't really like complain too much about it, but I feel like if we do ever get more action-based type of properties, whether it be the other characters pulled into this story, or again, like we said with Super Smash Brothers, I feel like this team, once again, is gearing up to pull off like anime-quality fight scenes, anime-quality action, which is really nice to see. Yeah. I would say, on the other hand, it is undeniably a mess, and is so loose and stapled together. It's really tough to see this as like even art, you know? I mean, like this really is a corporate product. This is a sizzle reel from Nintendo that could play in front of the Nintendo Directs or like their news coverage, you know? It's not that this story, or I should say, it's not that this doesn't try to tell a cohesive story. Instead, it's just simply an issue of just cramming way too much into the film. Even if you are picking up all the Nintendo Easter eggs, you can feel this lack of focus in just how much screen time characters have. And like I said, all of this plot juggling works against some of the magic. And I really mean that. The worth itness to check out that first film in the original place, originally. That's some cases is just missing altogether. Bowser singing was just Jack Black on screen. Was it like maybe appropriate for a Mario movie? I don't know, but it was funny and it was like universally beloved of that movie. Mm-hmm. That's missing altogether here, and it feels like every detour that we go away from that feels like they're just ignoring the wins of that first one for what, you know. Yeah,
that is
marching
strange.
Orders from Nintendo that you got to put this character in, you know?
Yeah, I know. And maybe they thought it was too cheap, but that was probably the second biggest talking point of that film coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was just how well it was doing, and then the whole Bowser, Peaches song, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah,
and he doesn't sing at
honestly
all.
Thought it was just going to be a given.
Yeah,
like give him another one.
Exactly, just give him another. Especially Jack Black, he sings a song in the Minecraft movie. Like that's becoming his brand
a thing
when he's in these kids movies. I mean, maybe it goes all the way back to School of Rock, but like, you know, like get Jack Black to sing, and it's going to be a hit. Like, trust me.
By the way, one of the best things I saw online last week was you've seen School of Rock, right?
Of course.
So the character Spider, which is the guy wearing like the chestless leather jacket, it's almost just like leather sleeves.
Yeah.
He is now like a state Texas representative or something like that, or Logan County commissioner or something like that.
Wow.
And it's just so you know how we all evolve.
Yeah. It's always another chapter. I would say some of my beef, though, with how much share does each of these characters get, where it feels like it's ignoring some of the success of the first one. It's probably a good bridge to talk about the voice cast with new and returning members kind of being a mixed bag once again. For the last movie, I mostly had issues with just separating how these actors feel from their real-world counterpart, but especially with like these characters being so iconic. And once again, just like Seth Rogen isn't in this one, but that's a great example of Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong. I'm scratching my head over these inclusions,
Because it just sounds like Seth Rogen.
Exactly.
That's where your head goes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a little worse in the sense that I'm more so scratching my head of like, why are these the casting choices at all? Mainly Donald Glover as Yoshi.
Mm-hmm. That surprised me when I saw that.
And Benny Safdie, the director, as Bowser Jr. Just why?
I don't know. I mean, Benny Safdie isn't random stuff here or there.
But
he will surprise. No, I get it.
This is punishment for the Smashing Machine not getting any nominations. What is this? And again, like I said, the worst part about this is that it splits the screen time on what even worked in that first movie, which was not always working. Just the fact that Jack Black has so much fun in this role as Bowser.
Yeah.
And barely talks in this movie. It's like, what? Why? Why'd you include him at all?
Donald Glover with Yoshi was probably the biggest question mark.
Yeah.
Did it work? Did he get the sounds right?
I heard Donald Glover trying to do your Yoshi.
Okay, all right.
My issue with it is that Yoshi's voice is a normal Japanese man's voice sped up very fast. So Donald Glover trying to do an impression of that sped up voice is just Donald Glover doing a high pitched voice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not great. And Benny Safdie is Bowser Jr. I didn't need Bowser Jr. to be a standout, but he talks a lot. Bowser Jr. has the most lines in this movie. Period.
What?
You swear to God. Swear to God.
And it's
Absolutely.
Benny Safdie.
And it's what is this? He's jaded. He's mad. The Smashing Machine.
That's funny.
He's just I'm just gonna make enough money on my own, and then I'm gonna make another movie.
I mean, not only that, he has a pretty normal guy voice, correct?
Exactly.
Benny Safdie, we don't know. It's very strange.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Very odd. But I think for big fans of the first movie, this does occasionally hit a stride with the Mario Brothers just doing game stuff. Just like that first film, these segments work because they feel like the game, and it's where I feel like this does still have a slight advantage over the early Sonic movies, where it was just Sonic in the real world. There is still a attempt to basically communicate to the audience that, hey, Mario's about jumping. This guy's gonna jump a lot. I know that sounds stupid to lay out so simply like that, but there is an attempt to translate the feel of these games into the movie, which I feel like is just a tiny bit edge better. On paper, I would say Galaxy is what I asked for in a sequel. It's bigger, it's better, which shows in just how much runtime is spent on these pure visual candy or flashy action, but it's also a lot more messy and a lot more loose. That at its worst moments feels manipulative in a very, very corporate way. I'm certainly rooting for Nintendo, and I'm happy that they have yet another hit on their hands. But I would have enjoyed if the Mario movie just did justice to Mario first, rather than being a wedge into more franchises. We're going to go ahead and give the Super Mario Galaxy movie a 58.
A 58%. And I got to be honest with you, that's a lot higher than what some of these other people are giving them.
Oh, yeah. It's got 30s on Metacritic or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like people are hating just to hate a little bit, too.
Yeah.
What do you expect in the end?
Right.
What are we really talking about here?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
That's with the first one. That goes back to our first review where I was listening to other reviewers, and one of the reviewers I follow called it the worst movie ever. And it's just I don't know. I mean, I think that's touch hyperbolic. Yeah.
a touch. Okay.
There's a lot worse movies in that movie,
Well, folks, don't forget here, if you enjoy the daily ratings, then just remember that we exist not because of advertising or because of paywalls or payment tier structures or anything like that. We are completely listener supported here at the Daily Ratings. We are producer supported because when you financially support us, when you send in a donation to the Daily Ratings, you become an actual legitimate credited producer of the Daily Ratings. Just like in Hollywood, when you financially support a project, you're a producer of the project. And that's how we're doing it here. The point is, we don't want to take advertising breaks where you become the product and we just want to pitch a bunch of stuff to you. We don't want payment tier structures or paywalls, like you need to pay a certain amount of money every month in order to get content at all, or like bonus content, bonus shows. Everybody's on their own finances. Everybody's week to week is different. And maybe some people are getting different value or more value than some other people. That's the thing with our show. Maybe you're tuning in once in a while. Maybe you're tuning in every single week and you're always on the site. Well, we look at that as a little bit more value in your pocket. So if you do find the Daily Ratings valuable, can you head to thedailyratings.com? Go to the donations tab, and everything is laid out there for you. So there's some set donations like buy Vin a movie ticket, join the Gum Club, become a Godfather, and then there's the big value for value button there because we are value for value. So you can click that, and it's whatever amount of value or any amount of money that you feel like sending in. You know, is it worth a cup of coffee a month, a year? Send in $5 if you want. If money is no obstacle for you, hey, 500, 5,000. Hey, that's great. That's great if it's not that much. You can do even more if you want. You can plug in whatever you want, whatever value you're getting. That's how we're doing it here at the Daily Ratings. And when you become a producer, don't forget to send in that producer note. So if you have anything you want to say or ask, this could be questions, comments, critiques, start a conversation, add to a conversation, whatever. If you're producing, we want to hear from you. We want to bring you into the conversation because that's what being a producer is also all about. So when you do donate in, don't forget, you can email us at tom.vin@thedailyratings.com. That's our email address. And please, really, write in a note. If you want to be anonymous, just say, hey, keep me anonymous, and we'll honor that. So again, it's at dailyratings.com. Please head to the donations tab. Check out the site. Have a good time on the site with everything that's there. But if you stop by that donations tab and give us some love, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. This thing definitely costs money every year just for upkeep and things. We just had a couple annual costs come through that we had to take care of, so we keep things streamlined. But again, any little bit really does go a long way for us, so we really do appreciate it. So if you want to be an executive producer of next week's episode 234, please check out thedailyratings.com. Head to that donations tab. Okay, Mr. Daly, before we step out to the theaters together for the drama, see what all the drama's about.
See what it's all about.
Real quick, folks, you know what it's time for. It's time for...
Whoa. This is a...
Tom's birthday movies.
So... I forgot once again. I deleted the original thing. I did the same thing last year. I was like, shit, what do I do? So I just put something together real quick.
Oh, my God. The music was so nice bringing it up. It was like, you know, kind of a storyteller's podcast.
It was
that
the
generic.
The cheapest AI voice that I got in about 5 seconds. So Tom's birthday movies. Here we go. Vincent Daly. No.
I gotta get my notes out. I mean, this is big. This is big,
folks. If you're new to the show, as most people know, there are 52 weeks in a calendar year, and for one of those weeks, I have full control, full reins. Vin has no say. He gets shackled, and he has to watch whatever I want.
Yep.
Watch whatever I want. I pick 5 movies that we're covering. No matter what, Vincent Daly has to watch them.
We've had some extremely wild choices over the years. Almost like we've joked about this in the past. Of just like you'd think it'd be like, man, Tom's favorite movies. Like this is gonna be like the popcorn classics. You know, like. Are we just rewatching Lord of the Rings again? You know, just like things you actually want. No, Tom every year takes this as an excuse to choose the most eccentric, out there choices that I almost question if you're going to enjoy them. You know?
I go through my own stuff. What do I do? How do I want to do this? Sometimes I get so anxious about it. I'm just like I throw it all out and start fresh. I usually, not that I have an agenda, but I usually try to do some type of theme. Last year, I would say I crushed it last year. But I did kind of the same thing. So I have 5 films, and then I picked a 6th one as an alternate. So
Then I can swap in.
I'll kind of give you some agency to throw you a bone. Some of these 5, though, are unshakable.
The Hospital was the last throw me a bone, though.
Yeah, we'll bit you in the ass, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
3 weeks ago.
I chose right not to pick up that.
But even I was toying with Wages of Fear last year, and you liked that idea so much that we did it a couple weeks later, where we did Sorcerer and Wages of Fear together.
Yep.
Great episode, by the way.
Absolutely.
Fantastic
Great
episode. Any guesses of what my movies are going to be?
Or something George C. Scott, or something, I can't remember his name.
John Wayne?
No, Robert
Paul
Duvall?
Newman? Oh, okay.
Something Bobby Duvall?
There's a lot of there's something Vince Vaughn. So, by the way, not the easiest thing to do to pick the birthday movies because let's be honest, like we have not covered. I'm not going to go throw a Bond in there.
Okay.
And just shake that apart completely.
Oh,
because
I
we
see.
got plans in the future.
Yeah, we do have
Obviously,
plans.
we want Bond to be special.
Yep.
We want. I'm not going to. And there's a few of those. I'm not going to go do Lethal Weapon 2. You know what I mean? Things like this.
Right.
So
movies you actually like are not.
well, but it's a thing, And then of course we brought in the Wheel of Movies.
Yes.
So that's a whole nother thing that messes with my head.
Right.
This list was basically completely fleshed out for quite some time.
Okay.
Which I'm super excited about. Like I said, totally didn't watch one purposely, and I do have an alternate in there that I haven't seen before either. Just kind of excited about it. So we'll start from newest to oldest.
Okay.
As we normally do. Okay.
As is tradition.
So from 2003, this was nominated for 10 Oscars.
Oh.
It won 2 of them, just because of that pesky Return of the King coming out. Nominated for 10, directed by the great Peter Weir, starring Russell Crowe. It's Master and Commander.
Wow.
Unrated.
Yeah, I'd never seen it.
You knew it. Okay. Technically Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World. Horrible title. Everyone knows it, though, as Master and Commander.
Master and Commander. Very cool. I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I didn't see it was rated, and I was like, how is this not rated?
Wait, is this a submarine movie or a ship movie?
This is ship. This
is a ship movie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like, this is like Napoleon-era ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're sailing.
Yeah, we're sailing.
Huge year, by the way, for Billy Boyd, the same guy that plays Pippin. So this year, he's in The Return of the King, and he plays not a small role in Master and Commander.
Wow.
That actor actually had a thing going on, Billy Boyd. Okay, that's 2003 Master and Commander. Next newest one, 1992.
Okay. Good year.
Directed by Michael Mann.
Whoa.
We have Daniel Day-Lewis in The Last of the Mohicans.
Oh, wow. Love it.
When was the last time you watched this?
So the last time I watched this was the first time I watched it when I was when I was first getting into Michael Mann. I went through a lot of the Michael Mann movies.
Oh, so it wasn't a Day-Lewis kick?
No. And I was guessing I was going to like this movie because it has a beautiful soundtrack.
Yeah.
It has Daniel Day-Lewis. We also have a connection to that soundtrack for a different reason. Back to high school.
Yep.
Yeah, and I just kind of expected something more of it. I think it kind of has a rough score on the site.
When I picked this to be in the movies, it wasn't on the site.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't on the website, and I was like, how has he not covered this?
Right.
And this was the one I've never seen before, by the way.
Okay.
This is the one I kept off. And I was like, how the hell is this not rated? I then went to the master list, and it's highlighted and says it's on the site. But I think at some point I accidentally highlighted it.
Okay.
You have rated it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I want to tell you or not.
I remember it's a little bit of rough rating. I remember watching this movie and being like, man, that kind of didn't.
Tell us the year that you probably watched this.
2017.
Okay, so it's kind of early.
Yeah.
Definitely couch days. Nowhere near the podcast.
Right.
This is when we're kind of taking it seriously, but not really.
Yeah.
Okay, you gave it a 53.
I remember wanting to like it a lot, and just being on like the Michael Mann high of discovering these films and him as a director. But then just like, man, what didn't work for me? So yeah, I'm glad to return to it.
I'm so pumped to return to it.
Absolutely.
So that was 92's The Last of the Mohicans. Okay, now in 1969.
Wow, big jump.
Big jump. We have from one of the best directors of all time. I am so excited that we will start covering him, and this is the start of it. Jean-Pierre Melville, famous French director. We're covering of his many slew of films, Army of Shadows.
Wow.
So Melville has had. When you watch Melville, he's known for noir, detective noir, crime stuff, crime thriller. This is more war-oriented.
Okay.
War drama, kind of. Still has a noirness to it. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit Tinker Tailor. It's a little bit Munich from Spielberg. But Melville, it's still just all him. And so many movies and themes spawn from this guy.
That's great.
And in the 60s, he's pumping them out. So I went through last year... I watched
Melville does not the professional.
So here's the thing. So I had 3 I wanted to pick for this.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick this because I think you think it's going to be the best. They're so good. The one so this is Army of Shadows. There's another one called Le Cercle Rouge or the Red Circle.
Okay.
I've watched that twice now. Fantastic film.
Wow.
And he does Le Samurai.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking
and
of.
I knew that was on your list.
Yes, it's been on my list forever.
And it's on HBO. Right. So this is this director, Jean-Pierre Melville. He was first on my list years ago when I was trying to find what was the first kind of proto-Ocean's 11 film. And he has a film called, well, in English, it's called Bob the Gambler.
Okay.
And so that's in the 50s, one of kind of his earlier ones.
Wow.
This is part of his 60s run that he goes on, this Army of Shadows. This is the longest one of the week for sure. It's great.
Can't wait to watch it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This is a great pick.
And by the way, I do think you're going to like it or possibly like it. Regardless, I have the Criterion 4K collection coming for you tomorrow.
Wow.
So you'll have that.
That's great. That's great.
So actually save it because we're seeing each other Friday.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So wait for the hard disk.
Perfect.
Okay, Army of Shadows, 1969. Folks, if you want to follow along, you can also rent that on Amazon. There are some free or cheaper versions out there. Like there's a 1980 or 1981 recut or re-release.
Okay.
Really tough-looking subtitles, and the format of the film is not great.
Interesting.
So if you do
That's
want to
where
watch
Criterion really comes in clutch for a lot of these old
that
ones.
is great.
Yeah.
Or just pay for the regular one on Amazon and put on your own subtitles.
Yeah.
That's the way you should watch it.
Great.
Okay.
I mean, listen, if the jump was from 92 to 69...
It's not crazy. It's not crazy. We're jumping just 1961. I'm laughing for a different reason. This movie is rated.
Oh, great.
This is one of the few rated ones that we have on the list. I watch this film maybe once a year. I've seen it somewhat recently, and I'm dying to watch it again, and I'm dying for Vin to give it a rewatch from 1961. The director that brought us Casablanca. The director... This was his last film he ever directed. We are watching The Comancheros. Comancheros.
Which is such a long-running personal meme between you and I.
1961, John Wayne going undercover as a Texas Ranger, the Comancheros, based on a novel that's loosely based on a real story of a real Texas Ranger. John Wayne also refused to have a co-directing title on this.
Oh, really? Okay.
But Melville was very, very sick while shooting and was out often. So this is very heavily handed John Wayne directing as well.
Okay.
But he refused to take it because he wanted all the credit to go to the director.
Wow.
We have Lee Marvin in this, kind of playing a bad guy. And this is the reason why Lee Marvin is in, just a year after this, The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. John Wayne was like, this is the guy. This is Liberty Valance.
And a huge role for him.
Right, exactly. So in this film, he's playing Tully Crow.
Okay.
The Comancheros. You know, you've probably seen it 4 years ago. I don't care. We're watching it again.
All right. Okay. All right.
I love this movie.
That's great. Listen, I'm glad to cover. It's also we dip a little bit into the John Wayne list, for John Wayne July.
Well, I wanted John Wayne on here because I know we had kind of talked about what route you maybe want to go. Because with John Wayne, there's some trilogies in there.
Yes.
There's things, and again, I didn't want to cut into that.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I had a George C. Scott thing in here, but I can't just throw it in. I need you to cover something. I actually pitched it. Yeah, I had my own things I was trying to push you into without having to tell you, but you didn't go for watching The Exorcist this past October because my plan was to watch The Exorcist 3.
Yeah, yes, right. which has been on my radar for such a long time because I hear Exorcist 2 is so bad, but then 3 is like such a gem.
Apparently, it's quite good. It's George C. Scott,
Yep.
and it takes place with the events after Exorcist 1.
Yes.
So 1 and 3 really go together.
Yeah.
So I soft pushed you to try to maybe cover the Exorcist. You didn't bite, so we're not watching 3. Okay.
Oh, man.
From 1955, this is the 5th movie.
Okay.
You were tipped off to this a few months ago. We are covering The Night of the Hunter.
Oh, that's right.
So it's 132 minutes. This is our first film, I want to say, that we're watching with Robert Mitchum starring.
Yeah,
Who I quite like Robert Mitchum. Mm-hmm. And this is known, The Night of the Hunter, as one of the first noir, kind of first of the modern day thrillers that we still get today. Mm-hmm. It was kind of panned when it first came out.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it had this huge resurgence. So this has a huge cult following. It's loved. And it was going to be a huge secret, but it's shown a lot in that stupid Springsteen movie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And do you remember? And they showed it on the marquee or something like that. And I started laughing during the movie. And afterwards, we were in the bathroom and you're like, why were you laughing at that? Was that one of your birthday movies?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes!
That's so good.
They ruined it. I'm not picking it because of the Springsteen movie. I'm watching it because it was already on my list.
You liked it first. You liked it before it was cool.
And actually, I picked it too because I'm most excited for you to watch this.
Yeah. Very excited for that.
Do you know anything about it? Or
obviously, I've heard the name over the years, but no, never dived into it. So
okay. All right. So that's the 5. Master and Commander, The Last of the Mohicans, Army of Shadows, The Comancheros, The Night of the Hunter, and then I do have the alternate.
And listen, I'm going to say this much. If you don't want to give the alternate, I'm very happy with this list.
I mean, you are sour on the Comancheros.
No,
actually, by the way, you didn't actually give it like a horrible score.
Yeah, I don't know what I scored it.
I think it might be in the 50s or low 60s.
Okay.
Which is not bad, not terrible. But you have seen it before?
Yes.
It's somewhat recently.
Okay.
It was right before we kind of launched the podcast.
Yes.
It was one of the Westerns we hit. I just love it, and I know that I don't have one of my guys on here. This is the only one of my guys. So so if you want to kick that off, that's fine, and I'll just still continue to watch it by myself. The alternate movie was from 1976, Marathon Man.
Whoa, with what's his face?
It's starring Dustin Hoffman.
Yes,
but that's our something Roy Scheider, and also Laurence Olivier. Is in it.
Wow, interesting.
And it kind of has a big mixed bag with reviews.
Yeah.
I've heard it come up a few different times somewhat recently. I know it can be intense, and I just love these actors in here. And this when we were kind of hot on Roy Scheider.
Yes.
Probably coming off The Sorcerer last year.
Yeah, probably.
Which we have always been hot on Roy Scheider.
Right.
That's when I was just like, and I watched The French Connection as well. This kind of went on my list.
Yeah.
So that is the alternate. If you want to replace anything, that would be okay.
I do like the idea of covering Marathon Man, but no, let's keep it as is.
If you want to kick off the Comancheros, that's fine.
I'm going to be honest. If I was kicking off anything, it'd be Master and Commander.
Really?
Because it comes purely from ignorance. I've never seen Master and Commander.
Why? Nominated for 10. Don't forget the director, Peter Weir, same guy that did Truman. He directed Truman Show. I mean, he's a big director. He directed Truman Show, then he did Master and Commander. He did Dead Poet Society. And then his last movie he did in 2010, I love The Way Back, it's called.
Oh, yeah.
He brushed under the rug so fast.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, Master and Commander, not a ship guy. Not even looking forward to a ship guy. I thought that was a big movie. Like, if Return of the King came out in 2004, this would have swept the Oscars, and everyone would remember it.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. I think that's kind of where I'm coming from. Of just like I don't really remember it. This wasn't something that stood out to me. But I do like this list. That would be my only swap.
Okay,
but
that's the one you're not allowed to swap.
Okay, all right. then I'm totally fine. with keeping the list
and this one's known as being, not only is it known for being a good movie, this is, some people consider like the ultimate boys watch.
Really?
Master and Commander.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm marking down Marathon Man because that's just something that I think can
go on the list.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's right in there in that great crop of mid-70s too.
Yeah.
And the biggest, Roy Scheider on the biggest runs of acting.
Yes.
Okay.
Unreal.
So write it down. Yeah. So 2003 is Master and Commander. 1992's The Last of the Mohicans. 1969's Army of Shadows. One I'm most excited for you, Vin. 1961's The Comancheros. 1955, The Night of the Hunter.
Wow. Once again, a list that you said. What's Tom going to pick this year?
You couldn't guess?
No, I couldn't guess. But I love this list. This is a heavy hitter list.
It's a pretty good list.
Great.
It's
Absolutely.
a good list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm hoping there's going to be something in here that really suits your fancy. Last year we had some really good winners. We had Patton, but Paths of Glory. You absolutely loved. We watched that. Remember that?
Yes, huge.
Kind of forget the other ones I picked, to be honest about it.
Path of Glory, Patton.
Oh, gave it a 79.
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
Stars Born.
Yes, Stars Born.
Yep.
Yeah, we crushed it last year.
We did.
All right, so with that's that, folks. If you want to follow along, that's what all the films we will be watching next week. Everything is accessible, whether it's on a streaming service or not. You can rent it via Amazon or Apple, something like that. Do you want to move on?
Yeah, we can move on.
Let's go to the theater director, Christopher Borgli. Like as we said, he directed Dream Scenario from 2022, I believe.
23.
23, starring Nick Cage. And this was one of the roles that Nick Cage started to get the buzz, like, is Nick Cage back? You had Pig, you had Dream Scenario, and it's like, oh, are we getting a good Nick Cage run?
Yep.
So he got some recognition, this guy. This is his next film. It's called The Drama, starring Robert Pattinson, Zendaya. Vin, why don't you take it from there, and we'll take it back and forth.
Yeah. Well, originally I was much more interested in this movie the less I knew about it, even coming close to hearing the big spoiler of what the trailers put front and center as this like devastating reveal in the story. But shockingly, as I was watching this, Tom, and I think you'll probably agree, I felt that this was almost bulletproof to some degree of that single spoiler, specifically because of how odd and unexpected the tone of the film becomes once the truth is out in the open. I feel like while that single spoiler is what's going to get a lot of asses in seats, for me, this movie was so much better and so much more unique and grabbed my attention so much more once that was out in the open and like it kind of was just being dealt with in the movie. What do you feel about that?
I think that I wanted it hidden. I didn't want it to be released in the trailer.
Yes.
For sure.
And I think they did a good job. I don't think they ever did rip the Band-Aid.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, again, there's a lot hinging on it. My only thing is because if you watch the trailer and are interested in the film, that is that thing of, okay, I'm sitting down and obviously I'm waiting for this big reveal. They could have hurried up the big reveal a little bit more.
Sure.
Now, listen, it's a sub 2 hour film. What is this? It's an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
I do think actually could have been shaved down a little bit. That's maybe one area I would do it, get us to that big reveal, because that's kind of what we're waiting for.
Yeah, true.
So do I care about what happens before? Now, we're dealing with two such good actors. I'm totally cool with seeing the relationship and being on the ride with them. That's the only thing I would say. Definitely keep it out of the trailer.
Yep.
I'm a big, strong believer in that. Maybe just rush it a bit more.
Yeah, true. And rush it to the point of, like, after this is out in the open, this movie evolves quite a bit.
Yeah.
This movie tonally becomes a very wild comedy that I was not expecting at all, and was not expecting at all in the sense of like how it tried to make the audience laugh, or more importantly, how it tried to make the audience cringe or, have some skin-crawling aspects to it. Very, very interesting. I would say, folks, really the biggest indicator for how unusual this does come from our writer-director, Christopher Borgli. And I think, as we've already introduced, Dream Scenario being his last project kind of puts it a little bit in perspective of what type of experience this movie is going to give. Really, I feel like you take every ounce of that story's high concept and instead funnel it into making one of the more unique rom-coms period of the last 2 decades. You might find yourself ready to experience this, but it is going to be unusual. This was a hard movie to summarize, to talk about for the big spoiler, but because, again, once that spoiler is out in the open, this movie evolves in its tone drastically. It is from something that I felt was like on the rails to something one of a kind almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I really do feel like you yourself need to watch it, because it's such a everybody is going to want to put themselves in all these different character shoes. So what you get from it is what you would get from it, type of deal. And on top of that,
almost how you would react to it.
Right, exactly. And you become invested in it.
Yep.
So it does make you care. It does get you involved in the film for sure. It's really tough for me to put. Rom-com is interesting. There's times I was smirking. I might have even gave a little bit of a type thing out loud, very slight. You're not going to be laughing a lot.
Yeah.
it will be humorous at times.
Right.
And almost because of it's so ridiculous, you kind of have to.
Yes.
Like, it's so absurd, you kind of have to smirk a little bit, potentially, or so dark, it's that gallows humor creeping in.
Yep.
So that it's one of those kinds of rom-coms, so be prepared for that. But it adds a uniqueness to it. I will say, too, this is more tame than Dream Scenario as far as what's going on, not cosmically, but...
Dream Scenario is definitely high concept.
It's not as heady.
Yes.
And just for this guy, like you said, he's directing, he's writing. But don't forget, I think what makes him more than just a generic guy, too, he's editing these films.
Yes.
And you pointed out, walking out of the theater, you said, I love the way this is edited.
Yeah.
Dream Scenario, that takes a real editor to make that movie come to life.
Right. All the almost
a lot
sketches,
of things going
if you will, that thrown into Dream Scenario. Here, we kind of get that as well in the evolution of perspective in the relationship. And editing definitely has a major play in that.
Just make the movie feel even that much better.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm with you 100% as far as like it feels almost wrong to call this a rom-com, but I feel like that's just like what it does aim to do, just in a very unique way.
Yes.
If anything, the drama is like a rom-com you've never experienced before. Within the two sides of that, folks, it's romance swirls between true love and insecurity. Well, probably more importantly to the actual experience of the film, its comedy is designed to be agonizing to some degree, fully intending on the audience's skin to crawl right after gasping at the juicy developments in the story. This is something that I heard online described as something you have to watch with a crowded theater to get like the audience reactions and the gas to it. And I don't know, I was thinking back to when we saw it, and like there definitely was some energy in the room of just like what's going to happen next. There was something in the air a little bit.
It wasn't a filled theater, but the people that were there definitely, and especially as the movie continued, the stakes were building, and as things kind of come crumbling down, our audience did give, again, these were not laughter breaks.
Right.
These were more just like, oh shit kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that skin crawl type aspect of it.
Yeah.
I could see how, I have to say, yes, in a theater experience, I could see still enjoying this on a Saturday night, watching this in your own home, actually.
Absolutely.
I think it would still have that effect on you.
Yeah. And I think that'll play into some of what I'll talk about of just like how interesting this is as a rom-com because of not the reflections, not something so highbrow as like the meditations on relationships, but like this worked for me because it felt like it was taking something so cliche as a rom-com and saying, what would be the craziest wrench to throw in the works of like a true love scenario, a head over heels scenario. And that's where I feel like this does break the mold a little bit on what is, a genre we've seen done to death. We saw even, just last year, I want to say, was it 2024, The Materialists?
That was last summer.
Yeah, that was last summer. Trying to do the age-old rom-com thing and kind of falling flat because it wasn't changing it enough. The drama does not have that problem. This is like one of a kind, when it comes to like what they're throwing in the mix of that normal like head-over-heels romance.
It brings it into the modern era. I was expecting maybe a slightly different drop, of that
fair.
of what happens.
Yeah,
there.
I didn't. Not credit to me, anti-credit to me. I thought it was going to be a spy twist. I thought it was going to be a Mr. and Mrs. Smith twist from the first time I saw it, and you were like, no, and I was very wrong.
So I was expecting slightly something different. Now, here's the important thing. If you don't, that moment when that big surprise comes and that element comes and the movie flips us a switch, and that's why we're all there for, if you don't buy that or you find it stupid or you're not connected to that at all or whatever, that right there is going to shoot the whole movie in the foot for you.
That's a good point.
But what you said after the film as well, it's, hey, it's not really about this one thing. It's no matter what was said. The point is it was said, and this is how our characters feel about it.
Yep.
So let's watch these characters deal with this now.
Yeah.
And it's as personal as you can make it, and you are going to feel a certain way, whether you're in the theater yourself, sitting there or on your couch watching it. It's hard not to put yourself in each other's shoes.
Yep.
I personally, the only thing where this movie was falling a little bit flat for me was I do feel like if I was these two people, I feel like there's kind of two conversations you have to have.
And then you're good.
Things kind of resolve for good or bad, but I just feel like there's a way that they could, in realistically, how this would have went down.
Yep.
But that's where it being a movie takes place.
Sure.
But where this is so real in some sort of ways, and again, two great actors bouncing off of each other. That's the only part where maybe it's falling out of realism for me.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you there. Absolutely. And definitely like a point of frustration kind of watching it, because I feel like if it wasn't maybe for the editing communicating that like from the get-go we're like a little bit on different pages, in the relationship.
Right.
There's something there was just like, all right, this could be smoothed out, a little bit.
Okay, you had that a little bit too. All right.
From the get-go, we see the relationship of Emma and Charlie, played by Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. From their very first meet cute, however, almost immediately we are clued into the themes of deception and misunderstanding, most of all, that will shift their romance to bloom. In a brief 2 years, both are getting married, but we see how head over heels they are for each other as we are taken through their wedding plans, getting geared up for the big day. At one of their recitals, a harmless game among drinking is suggested as an icebreaker for the two. Reveal to your partner the worst thing you've ever done. As far as inciting incidents go, and kind of on that last page, Tom, I feel like these characters are all asking for it a little bit. You know what I mean? The premise of this game, this inciting incident, is just like, well, curiosity killed the cat a little bit. You know what I mean? If you don't want to hear something you don't want to hear, don't ask. But nonetheless, this dark, depressive truth comes out from Emma that simply cannot go unheard. Like I said already, I think this movie got much more interesting once the big spoiler is dropped, but almost because it could have been around anything. I think we're on kind of two different sides of the coin on this one. Personally, I felt like the writing process for Borgley started with thought of what could you possibly find out about your partner that would throw a wrench into an otherwise perfect relationship,
Especially with the wedding right around the corner.
Exactly. We even hear this play out, this kind of hypothetical dialogue play out a few times in the story as each of the characters is trying to kind of process it, whether it's with the characters that heard the truth or people outside of this. It feels like that was the writing prompt for Borgley at the start of this project. Everything after this is where the real tone of the film solidifies into, and I mean, without spoilers, let's just say it's a dark, gossipy, insecure, comedic nightmare. It's like that's the tone of this movie.
Yeah.
I would say very little there is designed to unpack the topic itself. That's where I kind of see this, like, whatever the truth is, the spoiler could be anything. It's more so a vehicle for us to, like I mentioned at the start, not be irrelevant, but I saw it as a vehicle to test the romance in the story and build the awkward comedy around that. What are your thoughts on some of that?
I don't disagree with you. I guess, like you said, I think we just kind of disagree with that.
Yeah.
I think the big reveal, I think it's...
You're with me as far as, like, it doesn't really have anything to comment on as
it
far
does.
as
No,
the
it
subject
does.
matter.
But I don't want reveals. Like this, because this is trailers as a whole.
Yeah.
Stop showing me too much.
True.
This does a good job and holds punches.
Yeah, true.
I would have been less... had I seen the big reveal, I
Yep.
would have been less interested to go see it. Because I have no idea what this was about. And I just have these two actors. I was excited to go see it. I
Yeah.
think saving the reveal of what it is
Yes.
very much plays to a Gen Z and millennial crowd as well. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. You got me. You got me in the seat. Don't give me more.
Yeah.
This is what I was telling you last week. I was like, should have done it with Rocky in Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
don't give me Rocky.
should have done it with
I don't want
Rocky.
the reveal.
Yeah.
Don't break the reveal in the trailer, please.
Absolutely.
So, fully, that is where I'm at. And I get your point where it's like it's so much more about that. This is about
it's so
the
much
actual,
more of like about what
the
gossip,
resolution and what
how does the relationship shifting underneath them? You know what I mean? Something that shakes the bedrock of it, and that's what I mean by like vehicle to get there. In a writing
Absolutely,
sense.
yes.
So, but I guess I do bring it up in the sense that, do you think someone walks out of this movie?
I'm probably asking the wrong person.
I know,
to me,
I know.
I would never in a million years.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
I mean, I would just like.
It's so much more interesting than like.
It's a movie. Like, how weak of what you're gonna walk out? I mean, really? But I will say, I do know that this is some of the hate that this film is getting.
Thank
It's
you.
that's going to be the reveal. Like they're like offended that you're. Why would you ever even put this in a movie?
Yep.
Type of deal. And for me, it's like. shut up.
Yeah.
He could have went worse than this.
Yep.
And he didn't. It's more than acceptable. It's fine.
Exactly.
Like the whole point is to have a wow moment.
Yes.
I mean, that's the whole point of the story. Is you need to shake this relationship at its core 3 days before wedding day.
Right.
So here you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe in some.
Because you look on Metacritic, and this is like is in the 50s.
I know. I'm telling you, I was excited to review it with you. You know, just to kind of put our stamp on that.
Absolutely. So just kind of interesting because I feel like that there is definitely a backlash at this movie for that, and it's just I mean I definitely don't land on that.
That's proof positive. Don't put it in the trailer.
Yeah, true.
You know, as if you're a studio, I mean, we sold the ticket.
Right.
Whether you walk out or not.
Sunk it. Yeah. Regardless if you're hooked on this approach or not, though, I think this movie is absolutely worth seeing for the filmmaking techniques on display. It seriously was my favorite part about this. When I say that the editing was my favorite part about this movie, I'm not joking. I mean, I think like this has excellent editing. From the very first scene, the story is presented with super interesting editing that flows in and out of our characters' perspectives. Primarily, this introduces Emma's hearing problems that kind of kick off this theme of disconnect or being on different pages that will land this romance for the rest of the runtime. You could also call this editing style stream of conscious, but I think that honestly cuts it a bit short for how many roles it serves in the storytelling. Within scenes, we are cutting away to show fantasy scenarios, insecurities playing out in characters' heads, like, you know, hypotheticals for better or worse, letting your mind get the worst of you. I would say best of all, it's how this truth affects one's happy memories that we see in the edit. Things that were established earlier in the film being warped or slightly different or maybe revealed in some regard, eyes open to it. All of this happens in the edit, and it's everything I love about editing. It's storytelling. It's giving the audience, you know, kind of the responsibility to pick these things up. It's not that in your face with it.
Right. It's not gimmicky.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Absolutely.
It's like tastefully done.
Yeah.
And helps the story along.
Really, really great stuff. I would say, you know, without really going through with a scalpel, because as it ties into the big spoiler around this, what type of choices they made, especially in how truth kind of affects once happy memories. Very interesting of like what was actually done. I can't tell you just like how much I was in love with this. You know, hats off to both Christopher Borgli, our writer, our director, editor, and then he also co-edits this with Joshua Raymond Lee, because for sure this is a front runner for best editing this year. I mean, like this is really, really impressed.
A lot of
this.
big titles to come this year,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I loved it. And what I like about it
yeah.
too, as soon as we walked out of the theater, you were on it.
Yeah.
Did you know already that he was editor?
No, I didn't.
How funny is that you found out after?
Yeah, exactly. And I also didn't realize Borgli was connected to Dream Scenario either, which I feel like, again, that knowledge ahead of time, not that a lot of people saw Dream Scenario.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, but it had that.
Yeah.
It had, you know, if you knew about movies, you kind of
Exactly.
went to go see it.
Yeah, if you like A24, certainly the Nick Cage crowd went to see that.
Yeah,
know.
right.
But there's just some degree of just like Borgli's high concept, his like wild type of ideas in these movies, at least just these two that we're talking about, definitely is a good primer for what you're getting into here, how unusual the comedy is. So I
think, and for whatever reason, I'm not surprised that Ari Aster is a producer on it.
Yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
He could have like stepped in and did some second unit directing.
Just something about it works. That checks out. That's just when I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. I absolutely agree there.
2 weeks in a row, by the way. Project Hail Mary, and he does the drama. Daniel Pemberton doing the music. This guy works a ton. He's been working for just about almost 30 years.
Oh, for sure. So
he works a lot, but he's crushing it.
It was a quick note. Yeah, he's composing this. Guess what? He then goes on to do Masters of the Universe coming out soon. So he's having a big year.
Dude, that's a huge year.
He's having a real big
year. He had like a couple big years in there, but that is, wow.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And kind of connected to...
He did the materials, by the way. funny that came up earlier.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Connective tissue,
Yeah.
the threads. But yeah, no. Pemberton definitely was when we covered Project Hail Mary a few weeks ago. Similar thing of just like that's a front runner for music this year. So kind of connected to the editing piece of just like these are interesting projects that we're getting this early in the year, which reminds me of frankly 2 years ago where we had like really nice heavy hitters in March. March and April.
I know we have such a big year this year.
Yeah,
It's a blast,
so.
absolute blast.
That's good. I guess we can finally talk about what people care about, though, now that I'm done talking about editing, which is our main duo, which is acting. I don't think anyone gives a damn about the editing when it's Zendaya and Pattinson. This is, like we said already, the first of 3 movies this year to cast Zendaya and Robert Pattinson in increasingly bigger projects as the year goes on. We have Odyssey and then Dune Part 3. I think both of them were excellent in this. I think like Zendaya for me really was able to just internalize so much of the embarrassment key to the performance here. And we just see that, so much on the actual wedding day of just like, wow, just like there's so much she wants to let go, but she has to keep it inside. Pattinson, I feel like he gives such an interesting comedic spiral downwards this performance. You checked out the one with him and what's her face? Hunger Games.
Kristen Stewart?
No, it was the one last year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good Lord. How about that? I don't know why I want to say call me by your name, but it's so wrong.
Yeah. But you checked that one out. And that wasn't comedic at all, right?
No, for sure, it wasn't comedic at all.
Okay, all right.
Is it Lie to Me? Love Me?
Oh, yes.
Son of a bitch.
Love, Die Me.
Die My Love. Die My Love. Yes.
Yeah. So this was not a comedic performance like that,
Correct. And not only that, he really is, he's very supporting in that role. These, we have kind of dual leads here.
Okay, yeah. But Pattinson here, it just feels like it's the best version of the recent roles that we've gotten from him, whether it just be his kind of charisma on screen, but also
His
like
quirkiness.
Yeah, exactly. This feels so much more successful comedically than like even Mickey 17 or like some of the shtick that he does with that.
Because it did feel more real, maybe?
Yeah. And it felt like I could step into either of these characters' shoes and be in a similar panic.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think, for sure, and I think this is very fitting for him. I think this was a great role for him to take up. It's something about it makes sense. And for her, like where I've been so impressed with her the past 2 years, maybe 3 years too, coming up, it's like, she was always so tiny. She looked like she was 65 pounds soaking wet.
You're right. I think you said that in Dune too.
So it's like, okay, she's playing a teenager in Spider-Man, and now she's playing like this like young adult forceful woman in Challengers.
Yep.
And I don't know if I can see this range, but she's starting to get in this sweet spot. I mean, she's like 29, and she's still, she's playing a teen in the upcoming Spider-Man. And she's in these adult dramas.
Even to your point with Challenger, she plays
Euphoria.
A character that has grown from a teen into adulthood, and same person.
Right. And I have to say, with makeup and hairstyling and wardrobe and stuff, she can do it well. And I just think her acting is really good. Again, she's not a big person with this bold personality like maybe a Jennifer Lawrence can be. She needs to be a little bit more reserved in her performance.
Yes.
But it's where I'm blown away. I think she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because she needs to have quiet, really good performance. So you see it in the eyes. You see it in the motions. You see it in her inflections a little bit. Very real. It just seems very real.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm impressed with her. I think he's very good at just kind of being what that guy would be. To the point where we walked out, and I was just like, I'll tell you what, Zendaya, I don't know if I was ever dating her, I would be like, you're such a good actress at kind of being normal or being in different moods. I was like, are you like, you playing me right now? What is this? She's an actor. Is she acting right now? I couldn't trust it. Because she's that good at being kind of normal, person
very
in
natural.
this role.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought she felt natural in Challengers.
Yeah.
Which was a big hurdle because of that character that she's playing.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's also what maybe helps. We already commented on of just like the interest for a lot of people with this movie is stepping into the shoes of almost every character, not just our main 2 leads, and saying like, how would you react to this? How would you...
Absolutely.
Almost which character do you align yourself with to certain degrees?
That's really it is.
There's a magic to that.
With 4 main people, everyone taking a slightly different skew of the situation.
Yes.
From Jurassic on either end. And who are you exactly? What do you want this person? Like, why doesn't this person just say this? And I think they're good. I do like Elena Heim.
Yes.
Who's been cropping up a little bit more here or there.
Yeah, I'm happy she got another big role. I will say
outside of PTA.
Exactly. Outside of PTA, I'm even happier that the internet agrees with me in hating her character.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. That's part of I came across it naturally of just like everyone talking about like, wow, is she just like the worst? I'm just like, yes, she is.
With some of the internet and stuff, I would have been thinking that a lot of people were agreeing with her.
Yeah, sure, right.
Almost.
Right.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
But doing her job and what she needs, like she's good in it. Yeah,
I like her as an actress quite a bit.
Yeah,
and I guess she has a music career that maybe is the split focus of that.
That was a big start. Her and her sisters.
Yes,
that was like
yeah. But it was very interesting. But yeah, that's about it as far as I have for acting talk. I think it's just kind of interesting that these performances are so natural. And naturalistic in the relationship that it invites a type of conversation after the fact of seeing the movie. And this is whether this is online or even in a case like this, us after the theater, now on the podcast, talking about like there's a lot going on in this relationship. There's a lot to talk about relationships. You know what I mean? That's what I was talking about earlier of just like, this is almost meditative on relationships as a whole. Maybe that's a little highbrow for what this movie is going after, but just like, there's a lot to unpack of like, what would you do here? What do you think is right?
I wonder if this started fights afterwards.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We just saw it together, but I wonder if this started fights on the car ride home for some couples.
Certainly not about the editing. But I'm with you 100%. I think that's where this movie, I sat with this movie. I knew I really liked it out of the gate.
Yeah.
I have a lot more appreciation now seeing how it's inspired conversations around the film, and there's a dialogue growing around it a little bit. So, and all of it, again, not based around the spoiler. All the conversations online are all around like what the movie is really about, which is like this like hard-pressed, awkward rom-com. Very interesting. Very interesting. Folks, I do think this was probably next to Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, probably one of the most interesting movies of the year. And I thought how it challenged the relationship in the story is so clearly unique, like our director's last project. It's not a run-of-the-mill movie. The romance has so much to say through its hypothetical moments that it not only speaks to relationship challenges as a whole, but creates an unexpected comedic setup that will leave your jaw on the floor at times. There's really moments in this that, I don't know, maybe even belong to like kind of the string of anti-humor that's been coming about that we talked about, previously on the podcast. You know, it takes its rom side very interesting and it takes its com side very interesting. And frankly, that's where I'm coming away with wanting to see that being done with these slightly old, dusty genres that once had such a big swing over the movie theater. If you're gonna give me a rom-com, you gotta make it one of a kind, and I do think the drama is one of a kind. We're gonna go ahead and give the drama a 77.
A 77%, a very good score. Yeah, Dream Scenario, you gave it a 69%.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good improvement on something like that. I mean, again, different film. You can't really compare the two exactly.
Yeah, I remember just thinking the ending of Dream Scenario was so cruel.
It wasn't quite there, but you know what? For a younger,
you saw Dream Scenario?
Yeah, I saw it in theaters. Yeah,
yeah. It was so cruel to Nick Cage's character. It was just like, oh man.
77 is a big score for a simple early April kind of release here, though, Vin, or late March release when this came out, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not going to give it 2 shoes, but I think I walked out the same thing. I'm just like, wow, we just saw something not completely cookie cutter.
Yeah,
you said it's one of the most interesting of the year, most interesting in the past 2 years. Yeah, if you really think about it, and if these kind of darker rom-coms are going to be becoming a thing, make them interesting, make them unique, make us question our own selves or what we would do, and we have something here.
Yes.
And that's what he did here. He has something. Very cool, great to see, and I enjoyed it as well. 77% for the drama. If you don't see it, I don't know how, I don't think it's going to do very well in theaters. I hope it does well on HBO. It will inevitably come since it's A24. So, all right, Vin, excellent. Looking at these movies, these scores, anything to add, highlight, anything about next week, roll credits? What do you want to do here?
Well, excited for next week, of course. I would say, folks, definitely watch along. The great thing about this is, Tom, you always do the research to make sure that these are easy to find, easy to rent.
Yeah.
So that type of participation is definitely encouraged. Write in, if you want to express your thoughts over, hey, Tom, maybe choose something you like, or like an actual movie.
That's what I did here.
An actual comfort watch.
I'm telling you, I'm excited. Comfort watch. The Comancheros is on here. Give me a high and low. What maybe the top 2 highest films here? What are the 2 lowest you think?
I think Night of the Hunter is going to be very high, just because obviously that's like super, super classic movie.
Okay, all right.
I've heard a lot about it.
1955, though.
Last of the Mohicans, I'm going to say on the low end, just because I went in wanting to like that movie and was just kind of like, okay. And then the other 3 I don't know. Well, I guess Comancheros I maybe know, but
all right, I'm going to score. I'm going to put these from first to last, how you're going to actually like them, and we'll see how I do for next week.
All right, okay.
Other than that, Vin, thank you so much for watching these films this week, stopping by here this evening. Folks at home will run it down one more time. We have Anaconda with the 1 shoe, 0 laces, and then we have the Super Mario Galaxy movie with a 58%, and The Drama by Christopher Borgley with a 77%. Folks, it's always a blast every single week. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll be back for the new show on Tuesday, and we'll have Vincent Daly right back here next Thursday on the Daily Ratings Podcast. And hey, if you enjoyed the podcast, if you would, give us a good rating or get the word out and tell a friend about us. And just a reminder that the Daily Ratings is completely producer-supported. We want to stay away from advertising, and we don't want to have any paywalls or tier structures or subscriptions. It's all just value for value. So, are you finding value in what we're doing here at the Daily Ratings? Then become a producer and donate whatever amount of value that is. Just go to the donations tab on thedailyratings.com, and while you're there, be sure to check out the massive amount of films that Vince has rated. So thanks so much, everybody. We'll see you next time on the Daily Ratings Podcast.